Broadcasting live from the Business Radio X studios in Pensacola, Florida, it's time for Pensacola Business Radio. Now, here are your Business Radio X hosts.
Hey, good morning. This is Keith Hoffert at Pensacola Business Radio. Fantastic October day. The weather's cooling down. I've got some really good guests in our studio today. Let's go around the horn here. I've got, I almost called you Jake from State Farm. I've got Brad Phelps from State Farm. Good morning.
Good morning, Keith. Thanks for having us.
You're well. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming in. And I've got Barb Wagner from DoTERRA.
Very good.
Okay,
Pronounced correct.
Yeah, I didn't want to mess it up.
Good morning.
Essential oils. And then we have both Melody and Julian Pittman.
Good morning.
Yeah, you go ahead and lean in there.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for driving all the way from Destin.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into our guests and what they do. So our next lovely guest today is Barb Wagner from, and I'm going to say it again, DoTERRA.
Very good.
So is it essential oils? Is it wellness advocate? What comes next after
All
DoTERRA?
of the above. Well, the company is doTERRA Essential Oils, and doTERRA comes from the Latin for gift of the earth. So you think do like donate, and terra for earth. And all of our products are indeed from gifts of the earth, and that's what we specialize in. In addition to essential oils, we have a full line of wellness supplements. We have hair care, skin care, you name it, we have it. And it's interesting to some people that our supplements are actually our number one best-selling product over all of the oils. But we do have a lot. I think we're up to around 45 single oils and I think around 25 blended oils where the scientists have put together multiples, sometimes 5 to 12 different oils together to achieve a really targeted goal.
Right. So, and when you walked in this morning, you were smelling delicious, and because I know you were carrying them with you. So,
Yes.
and you gave me an orange sample,
Yes.
right? Which smells awesome.
Yes.
So, for those that may not really understand what this does for you or what it can help you with, tell them.
Okay.
I know we talked a little bit about it.
I was that person too. When my friend was kind enough to tell me about the oils, I had never heard the words essential oil put together in the same sentence. So I was completely in the dark. And a lot of people don't know that these are actually going to be the naturally occurring volatile compounds found in plants. And I actually had the grandma that grew all the plants and could make the mustard plasters and the poultices, and she would bring the things in and grind them all up. And that's what people have been doing really since the Garden of Eden, I like to say. It's been going back for centuries. And for me, it's very nice that people like doTERRA and their scientists have prepackaged these things ready to use so that I don't have to have all the knowledge my grandmother had. But these are actually what the plants use to protect them against environmental threats. And then we have people who have figured out how they can distill the essential oil from the plant. And depending on the plant, it could be housed in the seeds, the barks, the stems, the roots. It just depends on the plant. And then when we get the essential oils, I like to tell people, a lot of times folks will say, well, what's a good referral for you? And I say, well, basically anybody or anything whose body is made up of cells, because these do go in and work at a cellular level, and we use them for food preparation. Many of our oils are safe to use internally, and I cook with them. I drink them in my water. I consume oils every day.
Yeah.
We also use them, as I mentioned, in our beauty treatments, and then most importantly for healthcare. And many people are out there. We've seen a surge in recent years where people are once again looking for a natural alternative to self-care wellness, and that's where doTERRA comes in.
And I know, so we talked a little bit because my youngest, when she was doing her standard testing stuff at school, the teachers had encouraged them to chew on peppermint or spearmint gum or suck on those horrible little red and white pepper. I can't stand them, but my kids love them. But because it was helping them be more alert and focus on studying. So it's as simple as that. And you've got, tell us what does what. I'm really curious because all I've seen is the peppermint.
It is as simple as that, yet my whole job, if you want to call it a job, what I do is I teach classes, because while this is not rocket science, there is some education that comes into knowing which oil does what, which should I use for this type of thing, how do I use them. For example, some people don't realize that some of the oils, their chemical constituency is such that they are very hot oils if you were to use them on your skin. So one needs a little bit of training, and we have an easy to read chart that spells out that, for example, thyme is a hot oil, cassia, cinnamon, those are hot oils that need to be diluted with a carrier oil before you use them topically. And so you need to know which ones you use internally, which ones you use topically, which ones you use aromatically. when you were mentioning the peppermint, there are a lot of teachers now that run diffusers in the classrooms, and they will run things like our On Guard, which is marvelous for cleansing the air and killing germs and that type of thing. And you just run that every day. But then when the students are taking tests, you can diffuse the peppermint oil. I travel a lot. Sometimes I fly, sometimes I drive. And when I'm driving, it's always by myself, and you get that point where you're getting a little bit sleepy. I actually have a car diffuser, and I'll diffuse peppermint. But you would love this. I'll give you one before I leave. We have what's called a peppermint beadlet. I love the word beadlet. And a peppermint beadlet looks like a little ball of tapioca kind of thing.
Right.
And it has 1 drop of our doTERRA certified pure therapeutic grade peppermint. And you put it in your mouth and you bite it. And it doesn't take, I would say 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I always often tell my hostesses when I'm teaching classes, my gift to them is to watch their friend's reaction when the beadlet pops.
Right.
Because this is not candy. This is pure peppermint oil. And it opens up your,
as you
your
say, you're
sinuses
just all of a sudden you're
and you're
infused with
alert. Exactly. And when I take a beadlet, I'm good for about another 200 miles that it just awakens me. I can also pass one to my husband during church if he's getting the nods. But you definitely, it's like you said, you don't sneak using an oil because they are very aromatic. And when I'm wearing my oils, which I always am, I have a diffuser necklace on. I wear oils as my perfume because I don't put anything toxic on my body. My skin's my largest organ. But you really can't sneak using one. If you put one on, people around you know you just did that.
So, well, and you said ingest too. So what are because I just thought this was you either rub it on you or you smell it. So what are the ingest ones?
This is unique to doTERRA, and it's because our oils are certified pure therapeutic grade. They go through a rigorous standard of testing, which is also why doctors and hospitals around the world now are beginning to utilize the use of doTERRA essential oils even in their practices. So you do have to be very careful. And I always tell folks at a class, what I'm telling you today is about doTERRA. Don't take what I'm saying and go buy a $3 bottle of oil off a shelf somewhere and assume you can do the same thing.
Right.
And I would say that there's pretty much almost all of the oils, except it seems like the ones that come from trees. The trees are typically ones we are not able to use internally, things like cypress and firs and things like that. But it's super simple. When you have one of our bottles in your hands, you roll it just beyond where it says the name, and there will be a label that says supplement facts. Any of the ones that say supplement facts are safe to use internally, so it's very easy to know which ones you can and which ones you cannot use. And and a lot of times things like massage oils, just by design, they are made to use topically. So it would not make sense to ingest them. But I use them all the time. I drink them. My dog, I use them on pets. My dog has favorites.
And you notice a difference, huh?
Oh, yes. My dog actually will come to me wanting some oils. If he could say lavender. But he has found lavender calms him very much when there's thunderstorms.
Yeah.
And in fact, the dog whisperer, you can go on YouTube and type in dog whisperer and doTERRA, and he's using our doTERRA lavender to calm a dog. But my dog literally, he will come over. I haven't even heard the thunder, and he's sitting beside my oil box. And I'm like, what do you want? And I pet him, and then I will finally hear the thunder, and I'm like, oh, you need your oil. And he loves the Digest Zen for his stomach issues. And I have friends that use them on horses, and one lady in Kentucky uses them on all her farm animals. The sheep, when they're lambing, all of her ewes.
Yeah.
She brought back a champion rooster who one day just couldn't even get up. And he's this gorgeous rooster, and she was using frankincense on him. We have a saying, when in doubt, get the frankincense out, because it does everything. But she does her llamas and her chickens, her goats. She uses them on everyone. And many, many people who are big in horses are loving the doTERRA essential oils, both for the calming standpoint, but also the therapeutic side.
So I have a cat that has some serious issues. Anytime there is a cup out, lid or no lid, and there's whether there's something in it or not, the cat walks up and has to knock it over.
Knock it over.
And it is literally funny. Like you set the cup down, and 2-3 seconds later, Max is his name, is on it. He's knocking it over. So
I love it.
Find me a flavor that could chill him out from doing that.
That's
because
so funny.
We have soaked every cord for all of our charging things, important documents, things that are just up on the counters and on the tables. But you don't want to be mad at him because he's a great cat, but he needs help.
Okay, we're going to look into that. I will look into that and get you some samples. But even like cats, my daughter is getting ready to make she's coming from Europe back to Pensacola, and she's flying with her 2 cats in cargo. And she will have lavender in their little cargo things on like a cotton ball, and it'll relax them. And then you're not using, you don't want to use harmful things even on your pets. I mean, they're like our children, and you don't want things that have a bunch of side effects and, dope them out and mess them up.
So what's something like this cost? I mean, how does how do you package this stuff for somebody that wants to take it home and use it?
The oils in particular, we have 5 milliliter size for some oils and 15 milliliter size. The 5 mil will have 83 drops in them. The 15 mil will have 250 drops in them. It ranges from, I think our cheapest blend is Terra Shield, which is our insect repellent, which is marvelous. And I think it's $9.50. And I'm quoting wholesale prices because I don't have any retail customers. Everybody just gets a wholesale membership. It's a lot easier and you get 25% off. So that one's $9.50 for 250 drops. Our most expensive is called Melissa. It's $115 for 5 milliliters. And the price range is based on scarcity and the amount of plant matter you have to get an oil out. For example, you need 12,000 rose blossoms for a 5 milliliter bottle of rose oil. Where like peppermint's more abundant. I think it's a ton for a 15 mil ton of peppermint leaves. So it really is scarcity. Melissa is one that is only harvested 2 weeks out of the year. Mm-hmm. So very hard to come by, where certain things like lemon or peppermint we can grow all year long.
Right.
And we do travel around the world. We source our oils. We work in cooperative with growers around the world.
That was going to be my next question. Yeah. So this stuff, a lot in the U.S. as well?
We have a few of our oils we get from the U.S. The founders at doTERRA, one of the things that separates us and is part of our certified pure therapeutic grade requirement is we do source our plant matter where it grows indigenous. We find the altitude, the climate, the soil condition, everything is ideal for that plant to flourish. We were talking earlier, a lot of us are from the Midwest.
Sure.
And things that grow like weeds down here, we would have to baby in greenhouses back home. Yeah. And it's the same with these plants. And so we do go to where they grow native. And some of the things, like I said, are very abundant. I mean, we go to Italy for our lemons. We go to Bulgaria for rose. We go to Haiti for vetiver. And the other thing I love about doTERRA is that I think it's 19 or 22, I think it's actually 22 now, of the countries from where we harvest are considered developing nations. And when people get an agreement with us, it's life-changing for those villages and sometimes for tribes and for communities. And Haiti is one of those. And we go in and we put in freshwater wells in these places, and we put in closed-in septic, and we do clinics and orphanages and schools and whatever is needed. When we developed an agreement with the growers, I guess I think they had to meet with tribal councils for our frankincense. We used to get it just Oman, and now we also get it from Somalia. And they had to go and meet, and it was very dangerous conditions for them to even go there. And I love that one of our founders was saying they want to make Somalia known for frankincense rather than for piracy.
Yeah, sure.
But their situation is so dire there that we don't pay them in money. We pay them in food and supplies because they have no place to spend money. It would mean nothing. Right. So doTERRA is very philanthropic, and when we go to these places, we go to change lives.
Yeah, it sounds like a very conscious company.
They are, and it's one of the things I love about working with doTERRA. And we have donations that go in with our orders, if you choose to, every month. It goes to a Healing Hands Foundation that continues this kind of work. And I love it.
Very neat. So if somebody wants to figure out and learn how to use this stuff, I mean, other than calling Barb, is it pretty common knowledge, or does doTERRA separate themselves in some way?
We do want them to call and work with one of us. One of the things I love, as opposed to just going and buying something off a shelf, is when you get doTERRA, you get me or, whomever you're choosing to work with. And I always tell people I offer as much or as little support as they want. I'm not going to bother people, but because there does need to be a little bit of training, we teach classes. I have one tonight at the Tryon Library. I have a couple every month that just regularly happen like clockwork. Or I just come and sit down like this around a dining room table with someone, or meet somebody at Panera one-on-one. And then once people get their oils, I like to do what we call a wellness consult and follow up with them to make sure. I don't want anybody to buy oils and then let them sit there and collect dust. That's tragic.
Sure.
You have to get there, and we call it taking caps off bottles. Take the caps off the bottles and learn what your melaleuca will do, learn what your lavender will do, learn what your peppermint or your vetiver will do. Because I want people using them. In my household, they are our first choice.
Yeah.
And we don't have to turn to, over-the-counter or prescription things. We just use oils.
Well, and you learn really quick, too. I mean, from 2 sniffs of the orange I had, I was already, eyes were wide open and we were moving. So.
Right. And there's wonderful resources out there. doTERRA has a lot of videos that are available, that a person can just go onto a website and get a lot of training. And then there's good books. There's many, many books out there now, and there's some that I recommend to people that help them. And we go over that in a class and get people using them. And it's simple, though. I mean, there are little children. I don't have little ones anymore, but people have special roller balls. You can make up a roller ball with a blend that your child needs. And I have seen 2- and 3-year-olds grab their little roller ball in the morning and roll it on the bottoms of their feet, and they know exactly what to do with their oils. Or they come up to their mommy when they've fallen down, and they know that they need some lavender, or they know they need some melaleuca, and they're growing up with these natural choices, and it's wonderful to watch.
Sure. We'll talk about brain stimulating too.
Yes.
So if somebody wants to get some information from you or wants to find Barb Wagner, doTERRA, how do they do that?
You're actually very close to that, actually. My website is mydoterra, and that's MYDOTERRA.com. And then the / the one that's above the question mark. I think that's forward. And then my name, Barb Wagner. Or they can email me. It's very simple. And my email is getbarbsoils@gmail.com.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's catchy.
Kind of obvious. Get Barb's Oils. Very simple. I'm a simple person. That's why doTERRA works well with me.
Go for it.
And they can always call me too. My cell number is 850-376-8417.
Okay. And then we'll also have all of these links on our webpage as well. So, because I was going to say your Twitter handle, but we know it's way longer than it needs to be.
Yes.
So, again, and Jake from State Farm
or Brad,
everybody's links are going to be on our site too. So when this post goes up for it and it's got the show playing behind it, everybody can locate you from all that stuff.
Yes, and they don't have to be local. I have people, I think it's in 40 states and 4 countries now. With the technology the way it is, I teach classes virtually for people. Yeah. So with Skype or something, you put my head in the room and you have some things to pass around, and I'll teach your class. So you don't have to feel like, oh, I wish you were in my town. I can be there. So thank you. All right.
Well, thanks for coming in today and enlightening us and making my office smell awesome. So you're going to leave, and it's going to smell really good all the way down the hall. So hang out for a little while with us if you could.
Sure, absolutely.
And then Brad and Barbara, obviously, thank you guys both for coming in and sharing what you guys do. And I'm excited. The room smells good. They're going to juggle when we're done.
And maybe he could juggle beadlets.
And Brad brought all kinds of cool State Farm footballs and stuff that we get to throw down the hallway when we're done here. So, guys, this has been Pensacola Business Radio. You can find us at Pensacola Radio X on our Facebook page at Pensacola Business Radio or on our website at pensacola.businessradio.com. Again, thank all of you for coming in. And Pensacola Business Radio, where business is good and your work matters.